Welcome to the Tracie Trendy Show, my lovelies. Welcome one, welcome all. How are you doing? How are you doing? I'm going to pour a little tea. I'm going to put a little flavor in that tea as well. Because apparently one of Doug, you know Rachel's Doug? Well, it's little pen pals. I'm going to call it a pen pal because it didn't go further than that. You know, spilled a little tea on Reddit. I had this for a while. You know, a couple of days, but my weekend was very busy, so I'm trying to report it to you. Okay, my lovelies. All right. So apparently, here's the tea. But it's not really surprising to any of us. Really isn't surprising that Doug was talking to someone while he was supposed to be involved with Rachel. Okay, that was before and during his involvement with Rachel. Someone decided to unleash what was burning them, and they posted on Reddit a little detailed narrative of what happened, okay? And because some of you guys are wondering about Dougie Jr. and why he's so bratty. And why is he telling his dad he's a womanizer? And why does he tell his dad to, did he drop the soap? Well, and shouldn't little Dougie Jr. be in a child's place? Well, let's be clear. Well, you will be clear, actually. After hearing what this poster posted on Reddit, you will be clear, okay? Little Dougie has not had a childhood. He has been placed into an adult position for his dad, okay? So when he talked slick to his dad, Doug Sr. made it possible. He made it possible. And plus he hasn't made it stable for little Dougie, okay? So little Dougie was over by the time they had that little dinner at that restaurant. But anyway, let me read what this poster said while she was pen paling Doug. She said, a few years ago I was in a bad place and very lonely, so I started talking to inmates. A terrible ideal, I know. Nothing ever lasted, but one of the guys I talked to was Doug. I can't believe I'm seeing him on this show, and I needed to tell someone. I'm too embarrassed to tell my friends who watched the show, so here I am. We started talking a few years ago, and he was very sweet. I never sent him money, just paid for money on my phone. I don't know what that means. I don't know. He wasn't controlling at all. He would call me on my break every day, right at the exact time. I was definitely falling for a fantasy that deep down. I wanted to believe. The idea that he would be paroled here and get enrolled at a local community college. I remember him saying he wanted babies, and I jokingly laughed it off. Yeah, he doesn't need any babies because he couldn't take care of the one he has. But anyway, let's keep going. It's insane to watch all this play out with him and Rachel. He never mentioned the 4 Bs, and we all know what the 4 Bs are, all right? But he did talk about his son. I think he really wants to be a good father, but literally has zero idea how to be one, considering his circumstances in life. Exactamundo. There was one time Doug didn't have any stamps left and told his son to text me and let me know that's why he wasn't responding through JPay. Dougie texts me, and I still have the text exchange with him. And basically, Dougie's text was, hi, this is Dougie. My dad needs a stamp. Okay, so now this is what I'm talking about, how Doug Sr. puts little Dougie in an adult position and tries to have him beg for a stamp. A grown man can't even buy a stamp, so he knows it's pitiful for him to ask for a stamp. So he gets his little son to do grown person's business to do this. It's just crazy, okay? And he probably told little Dougie, you want a mommy? You want a good mommy? Help your dad out. Text this lady and ask for a stamp so I can continue this relationship with her. That's why little Dougie knows he's a womanizer, okay? And I'm sure Dougie's been around people who called Doug Sr. a womanizer, and then he sees the examples everywhere, okay? So, because he's apparently Doug is a player, all right? No surprise there. So he's probably told Dougie to help a dad out. You want a mommy, let's do this. I'm just assuming that. Okay, allegedly. Okay. And I don't know if this post is, legit, but it sounds legit. It's nothing too crazy. It just sounds just about right. So anyway, so Dougie texted him. I thought it was a bit weird that his son would contact me so soon. But I think that's Doug's approach to everything. Yeah, he just throws his children into these relationships. Okay, just like some of the women do. It was manipulative in a way. Like, dang, he cares enough to let his son know about me and contact me? And that's a ploy to be manipulative, not on little Dougie, but also this woman. He's using his son to weave into her life, and he's using her to weave into little Dougie's life as well. At the same time, I felt bad for Dougie because I wonder how many other women he had done this for. And I saw the text, and the way Dougie was asking, it seemed like, hi, my name is Dougie, I'm doing da. So he's done this before, or at least something similar. At the time I was talking to Doug, Dougie was living with his sister in Kalamazoo. Dougie's the only child, so he was living with Doug's sister. Judging by the previews for next week's episode, it looks like she might make an appearance. Given Dougie's circumstances, I really feel bad for him. I know everyone is wondering where he is now, so my assumption is that he's back with Doug's sister in Kalamazoo, unfortunately. So this is where she thinks little Dougie is. She doesn't think he's with Rachel. Now, Brittany is who Doug is with. Doug is not with Rachel. Doug Sr. is not with Rachel. Doug Sr. is with Brittany. Brittany, hit a sister up. Email me to say yes or no. Is Dougie with Rachel? That's all I want to know. Say yes or no. That's all you have to put in the email. It's Tracie Trendy, TRACIE, trendy @gmail. Okay? Let me know. Just say yes or no. That's all I need to know. So anyway, so she doesn't think, now this woman doesn't think Dougie is with Rachel. She said, Doug and I got pretty close and I enjoyed our phone calls. They weren't dirty or overtly sexual. We literally just chatted about whatever. There was one point he told me that he didn't have a birth certificate and has no clue how to get it back. Being the nice person that I am, I told him you can get a new one from the state you were born in. One day on the phone, we did all of that. Turns out he was born in Florida. I paid for it and had it delivered to my resident. Before I deleted JPay, I wrote him and asked where I should send his birth certificate. And he asked that I send it to his sister's place in Kalamazoo. So it seems he relies on her a lot. It'll be interesting to see what her take on Doug is, if that was her in the previews. So this lady goes on to say, eventually we stopped talking. I couldn't make sense of paying for all these phone calls and pursued men who weren't felons. I blocked the prison number, but also made a Google Voice number for him to use when he would use other inmates' phone accounts to call me. Okay, so he was trying to be slick. Doug was trying to be slick and circumvent the block by using other inmates' numbers. Okay? I completely forgot it though, since I turned the notifications off. I just checked the missed calls on there, and he was definitely calling me when he was talking to Rachel. She says, if I'm getting the timeline right, she says. So anyway, deep down, I knew Doug and I would never work out, but he was a good person to talk to. I'm not sure if I just didn't get to know him long enough or if the show is just portraying him as a douche lord, but he was never controlling towards me and showed sympathy for Dougie. I think he's someone who is institutionalized and has no idea how to handle relationships, romantic or family related. I do feel bad for him in a way because he's probably never had a healthy relationship and probably lacks confidence in his role as a father and husband. It reminds me of the scene in the first season when Joanna and her dad, where he tells her something along the lines of Garrett has been locked up for X amount of time. This is a whole new world for him and you expect him to jump into the role of a husband? I'm not condoning Doug's behavior. I'm just saying the man has no idea WTF he's doing in these roles. So it's no surprise to me that he's taking this weird heart in prison approach to everything. Okay, my lovey, that is all she had to say. He is a player. Doug Sr. is a player. Surprise, surprise. I think Dougie called it. He called it, he said it was a womanizer. He said that right in front of Rachel, okay? He said it right in front of Rachel. Because he knows his dad. He knows his dad. Dougie has been the middleman in probably a lot of his relationships. Whenever Doug Sr. needs something done, Dougie had to do it. And Dougie's been around living with his aunt, and she probably called Doug Sr. a womanizer. Okay? Children are very impressionable. And that's what he heard. And he got it accurate. He got it very accurate. Okay, my lovelies. What do you guys think of that? What do you think of that? Do you believe this poster? I kind of do, because I mean, it's not really saying much, you know. I mean, it's saying a lot of tea, but she's just saying, you know, she's not saying anything too crazy. She just said she was in a lonely period and she was talking to Doug. And some of that time, you know, commingled with Rachel's time. So if you don't believe her, drop a line. If you do, you know what to do. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, my lovelies. Hit the notification bell. Share if you care. All right, I'll see you all on the flip side.